Hey YouTube, coming at you with my second Holiday Cup team. So I started with, let me go actually go, because there's a bunch of variations on this team. So I started with PALOSSAND. I'm sure if I mispronounced that, people will correct me in the comments. Basically, because now Vigoroth is the number one ranked in this cup, because a ton of people run Vigoroth as a safe swap, having a ground ghost Pokemon will just wall everything. Counters resisted because of the ghost. Body Slam is resisted because of the ghost, and Rock Slide is resisted because of the ground. So it's an absolute wall, as you're going to see multiple times today in these battles. I absolutely wall it. So that's how I started. And then I'm like, okay, what are your weaknesses realistically in this meta? Dark, there's not really any dark in this meta. Grass, there's some grass. A lot of people in the comments were talking about Whimsicott. So I'm like, okay, I got to worry about grass. And then kind of no, I don't need to worry about Lanturn unless it's water gun, but that's even a close matchup because mudshot switching sands. I'm gonna light up most Lanturn, so it's not really Lanturn I need to worry about. It was mostly the grass Pokemon was the biggest worry. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put in Skarmory because I think Skarmory can deal with two things. I think it can deal with the grass and it can deal with Vigoroth. So then I put in that, and then I'm like, okay, so I put in that. And then what happened was I think I got hit with a water gun Lanturn. And it's like, well, I'm screwed with Skarmory, and now coming in PALOSSAND was bad. So I'm like, I need a third that can deal with that. So I was going through things. I'm like, okay, I'll put in Shadow Abomasnow. As you can very obviously point out, I'm double weak to fire. So I did 5 battles with this team. I did well until the next one when I got into Talonflame. And I'm like, oh, okay, Talonflame kind of kills this team. So that's when I was thinking, I'm like, okay, what can I realistically do as a lead that has very little weaknesses in this meta? And I was going through all my Pokemon and had this Shadow Girafarig. And I was like, this typing is very, very good for this meta because it is normal psychic. So the psychic and normal offset each other. So the counter from Vigoroth and stuff is neutral. This psychic and normal offset each other, so the ghost is neutral. So I only need to worry about dark realistically. And let me just check to see if that is the only weakness I need to worry about, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty much one of the only weaknesses you need to worry about with Giraffe. Let me just look it up to confirm. Dark and Bug. Okay, Bug. I knew I was missing one. Bug because of the psychic. So there's only two weaknesses, Bug and Psychic, which is, there's only 2 weaknesses. Bug because of the Psychic and Dark because of the Psychic. So not a ton of that running around. So I thought on that, so how I thought was this, that on the lead, running Psychic, double kick, there's an option for it to potentially be better. I just thought that if I want the actual safest stab confusions with a Psychic Fangs would allow me to lower, just kind of take any shield advantage I want and then go to the back and align how I wanted. That helped me in some situations and hurt me in the others when I was like down to 0 shields, double shielding, and then Abomasnow was like too glassy to run double shields, like no shields. So that was kind of how that played out. But let's get into the battles with both of these Pokemon. Dunsparce, I saw a lot of Dunsparce today. This is an okay matchup because it takes 3 rock slides. So if you watched my video yesterday, I talk about how, mostly off topic, about how it's not that attack heavy Pokemon because its attack stats are low and then it's a non-stab move. And then I got into the whole calculation of how much damage it does. What you need to know is it takes 3 rock slides to take this out. And I already grabbed a shield and now I'm just going straight Brave Bird because I've already grabbed 1. They're unlikely to shield 2, and I took switch and grabbed a shield. This is a bubble Jellicent, so I have to, even though I'm just going to get farmed down, I don't care. I need to stay in here because a bubble Jellicent would have a really, really good matchup against PALOSSAND, so I had to just double shield, commit. This is where sort of you recognize how spammy this is. The Mudshot Scorching Sand combo is very spammy and decently hard hitting, right? So lowers the attack, which is huge. Get a second one off. I know bad timing, but I don't care. I just need to try and get this out. Get the second attack fault, which is huge. It doesn't often come that way for me. I know it's just Icy Wind, And I know that I lowered their attack twice, so I'm not worried about this move. I will take it out because I really don't want to take any more charm damage though, so I will take this out now. And then I am assuming that a Shadow Energy Ball should be enough to take out a Jellicent, even though my attack is lower. So they throw the Surf bait, which is a smart bait. Like I have to shield. Energy Ball, not quite enough to take out, but a couple Powder Snows will take it out there. Good thing good thing I muted the battles because I forgot to do that. Did I put in the same team? No, because this time they do not shield up the Sky Attack first. So same lead, my opponent plays this differently. Instead of shielding up the first Sky Attack like my other opponent did, they just let this go. So I think I can still take it with 2 Sky Attacks. Oh, not if the game freezes. So when the game doesn't freeze, you can take this with 2 Sky Attacks well before they get to 3 Rock Slides. When your game freezes, it looks like I can still get it, but they've got a couple more energy than they should because of that. So behind because of the game. Yesterday I talked about how I was on the bus for the first 2 sets, but here I was not on the bus. This was just like at home, and the game just was like brutal. So I'm taking resisted rock throws, rollouts, taking resisted rollouts, farming up on energy. Out comes a Jellicent, just takes that. Out comes a Golurk, and that is a top left when you are double weakened Abomasnow to the back. So tough loss. Should have waited to see if it was Spark. I do that in other matchups. I actually wait. You should wait to see if it's Spark or Water Gun, because if it's Water Gun, going Palossand is not the best answer. Abomasnow is a better answer. But if it's Spark, then Palossand is fine. Baited once, got a shield, going straight nuke here, grabbed a second shield. So good situation to be in. The problem is, so I've got to run with Abomasnow. So I thought that just getting ahead on energy may be the best way to do this. But as you see here, like I'm at a move. I should have thrown the move to take this out. But now I'm just got to commit a second shield, which I think ends up costing me this game, if I remember. So I'm at 100 energy now, which is fine. But I think I really need that shield in the back end here. Yeah, so it's a Frostlass. Not enough energy balls, not enough to take out. I do farm up a bit to try and get as much energy as I can and do catch a move. So I played that well. But now the Skarmory is just going to come in and farm me down and come out with a move for the Abomasnow, and then I'm going to lose this matchup against Lanturn. So I don't think it was the wrong play to come in with Abomasnow. I think it was the wrong play to just not to burn that second shield. You really need, like, the 100 energy was nice, but like having like 20 energy with a shield would have been nicer. So that was a mistake on my end. I definitely should not have used that too. I should have thrown it earlier. Cradily, so this is a great lead. These Steel Wings are doing super effective. Rock Slide, as you're gonna see here, nowhere near enough to take out. So I'm just farming. Out comes the Vigoroth, and here it is in action. Counter resisted, Body Slam resisted, Rock Slide resisted. It's gonna take like 4 Rock Slides to take me out. So I throw immediately just to think like maybe I can lower the attack and make this even funnier. And I can, which is nice. The problem is, without any other sort of secondary damage from your other Pokemon, it takes 2 Scorching Sands to take this out. There's no way you can farm this down without them getting like multiple moves off. And you're already at 100 energy basically. So you always have to throw the second Scorching Sands, which is okay because you still can come out with a ton of energy. So basically at a full move, why am I going Shadow Ball instead of Scorching Sands? I think they're basically the same. Both are neutral, right? Rock takes super effective from the ground, but grass resists, so they're both neutral. And I think they're Shadow Ball's if I'm gonna get one move off, Shadow Ball probably is better. I throw the Brave Bird because one energy ball from full health I don't think takes out a Lanturn. So I wanted to chip it a bunch, but that was just a hard counter team. There's nothing they can do here. This matchup, so I'm wondering if I win or lose this matchup, because this is one where, oh, so the draft is in. So what you didn't see there is I got hit with a Talonflame. And then I'm like, okay, this team doesn't work. I got to try something more neutral. So the draft is in. Vigoroth, yeah. So now the Vigoroth comes in. Again, you're going to see the same thing. But what you're going to see in a couple of these matches with the draft is I burn a shield or two because you kind of need shields for it. And then Abomasnow's left without shield, which is not how you play Abomasnow, right? So that's kind of a mistake. A couple of these losses that I have coming up was because I did not think that through fully. And you're also going to see like a Skarmory matchup. So Skarmory like kills Abomasnow and does like very well against PALOSSAND because you can only throw the Shadow Ball. Lanturn comes in. Why am I throwing a Shadow Ball instead of Scorching Sands? I don't know. I think I just like instant hit thinking that the Altaria was going to come back in. I guarantee that's why I did it. I threw it just assuming that the Altaria was going to come back in. So that is a very rookie mistake, not something that you should be making when you've been playing as long as I have. But when you are double weak to Altaria, it looks like a bomb. So like, how do I... Who's the real winner here? The real winner is who's ever going to get me the clicks on the video. That is who the real winner is. So like this one is a perfect example. So I have to shield to take switch, which is fine. I will shield to take switch. I get the farm down. Nice. I have shield advantage. I have energy. Altaria, I'm like, okay, I've got to keep my Abomasnow on this. So I will just... I'll just stay in here and get my Abomasnow on it. But by that time, this has a Sky Attack. So I have to shield because Sky Attack is super effective. So I got to go down 2 shields. And even though they have a nice matchup for me in the back, I didn't know they'd be double grass. If I knew it was like a double weakness to Abomasnow, I would have left immediately. Thinking my only win condition is try and catching. They are smart to not throw it. And then they take this out and take me out. So I maybe could have come with Abomasnow quicker. But I figured if they have an Altaria... They probably had an answer to Altaria. If I had an answer to Altaria and Abomasnow, they had an answer to my answer. So I thought they would have a second answer, but they didn't. They only had one answer that they did not actually get out of. So they were double weak to grass and the ice in the back. How was I supposed to know that? Mantine here. So I'll probably do... Actually, I'll live one Aerial Ace, so I don't need to go right away. And I think I screw up on the farm down here. I think I could have definitely just shielded and farmed down here, but I think I got nervous that they get to a third one, and I didn't want to double shield. Okay, no, I didn't. I remember one of them, I was like, I think I misplayed that. I do farm down, have energy. Lanturn comes in. I probably should have gone one more and gone to... Could I have gone? Yeah, I think I probably could have. Once it's Spark, PALOSSAND is a great option because Mudshot, Scorching Sand is super effective. They have an answer for me in the back, so good alignment here. I do get a second move off. I will not get a third one off, but it's good to grab shields because I need to get a Scorching Sands off on this. So throwing right away, grabbing the second shield. They will get a Sludge Bomb on me. Powder Snows will keep adding up though. Not that it matters. I thought that maybe if I got them low enough I could like farm down because Poison Grass takes neutral from Mudshot, but Mudshot's just not a hard hitting enough move. And I'm like, I cannot take a Frenzy, so I just need to get this out. And I think I can outpace Mudshot Scorching Sands compared to by the time Lanturn gets to 2 Surfs. So who's going in the title? Who's going in the thumbnail? The question is, who is going to get clicked more? I think both have play, and I think both have shown how they have play, right? PALOSSAND is just a wall to Vigoroth, as you've seen multiple times. Nice answer to Lanturn, especially if it's Spark. And Abomasnow you've seen between the Dragons and Grass Pokemon and the Golurks and the Grounds coming out, that it is a nice answer to those. So both have play. I just couldn't figure out how to properly pair. I did not check PV Poke to see what they would recommend. I mean, if you do Vigoroth, you'd be double weak to fighters, but does that matter? In this meta, not really. Team build in the Holiday Cup with this and Shadow Abomasnow. What are you recommending? So I put in a neutral. Like I said, my thought process was like, let's just put in a neutral Pokemon in Giraffe. Their answers are, you can't cover, their answers are Vigoroth and Lanturn. Wow, how creative. They say that your sort of double weaknesses are, if you're running this line, Skarmory, like I said, Skarmory's tough. So flyers in general, because flyers are doing super effective against Abomasnow and the mud shot's resisted. So they're saying you need an answer to flyers. They're also saying you need an answer to Obstacoon as a fighter dark, right? That makes sense. Although you can kind of Scorching Sand it a bunch. I've played that matchup. It's probably coming up here. I played that matchup. It's not terrible. Frostlass. You need an answer to Frostlass, which is why I started with Skarmory. So their answers are like Vigoroth, Lanturn, Skeledirge, Talonflame, Skarmory. Skarmory is their 9th answer, even though you're double weak to Talonflame, right? So it says Skarmory 9, Talonflame with an X, right? So that was my thought process when I came up with the team before, but then I got hit with a Talonflame and it's just like, oh, that's a top left. So I tried to make it more neutral. So you can try to make it neutral with Lanturn. You can try to make it neutral. But if you go Lanturn, you're double weak to grass. So again, Skarmory double weak to fire, Lanturn double weak to grass. Vigoroth would be double weak to fighting. So it's a weird combo to put together, even though I liked it. There's your Obstagoon that I was talking about that I did deal with it. Because I chipped it with Thing, grabbed a shield here, able to farm down because these Powder Snows add up. They throw here, just take the 2 shield into PALOSSAND and just farm down, shielding up every Night Slash that came my way. I did throw 1 just to grab a shield here. So they throw Night Slash. I'm like, I know they're going to want to get off another Night Slash, so I just throw a move to force that shield and then farm down. No attack fall there. Just go for the straight farm. What is that, Vigoroth, if I remember? Yeah, I think they top left. Attack fall. But basically, you just go to 2 moves there. Giraffe against Dunsparce again. So the question is, why? Because if you go to the rankings, I'm pretty sure they're telling you to run double kick. Yes. So they say double kick. Actually, I did a terrible moveset because they said I used Confusion, Trailblaze, and Psychic Fangs, and they are recommending double kick, Psychic Fangs, and Thunderbolt. And why double kick and why Thunderbolt? So I think I'm not sold on double kick. I think double kick because it's a 3-turn versus 4-turn move. So the difference is, so Confusion, 3 energy per turn, but a 5.76 damage per turn, so very damage heavy. Double kick, 4 energy per turn, but a 3.2 damage per turn. And I think they're recommending double kick because of how safe Vigoroth and Double and Dunsparce are. So I think that's why they're recommending double kick. I think Confusion is the better move if you're trying to do more damage per turn and then lowering Psychic Fang lowers the defense. I'd rather just have the harder hitting move that is general across the board as opposed to just targeting that, especially with there's so many ground ghosts popping up. So personally, I like Confusion. Why Thunderbolt instead of Trailblaze? I think it's just purely on a damage per energy scenario. So Trailblaze, 50 energy for 78 damage. Why does it say 78? It's not stab. That's sort of weird. And then Thunderbolt, 55 energy for 108 damage. Why is it? I'm using the... Oh, Shadow. Doi. I'm like, why is it giving these odd? Because you are a shadow, so you get 20% damage bonus on top. So the difference in damage per energy is 1.56 for Trailblaze versus 1.96 for Thunderbolt. So way more coverage, way more hard hitting with Thunderbolt if you just have like one move to go. So that is why they recommend Thunderbolt. Again, I prefer Confusion just generally in this meta because it's more safe versus all of the meta as opposed to just targeting Vigoroth and Dunsparce and those guys. So that's why I prefer Confusion. You can use Thunderbolt. Trailblaze does boost your attack. So if you want to land it on, if you're seeing a ton of Lanturns, I think that's why I put it on because of the Lanturn. Landed on Lanturn and then Confusion, but you're very, very glassy. So like 95% of the time, you're just going Confusion and Psychic Fangs anyways. Anyways, that's the team. I'm going to just take a poll. I'm going to cheat. Yesterday, Saturday, I'm going to put up a poll in the afternoon saying, would you rather see a video on PALOSSAND or Abomasnow? And whatever has more votes is going to be the thumbnail. So surprise, you get both of them. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.